Homer was stunned to discover that his father was actually gay.
Oh, my gay dad is gay for gay.
Holding up a wig, he confronted Abe for answers. Just then, Burns happened to walk by and instantly recognized him as the legendary wrestler Gorgeous Godfrey. Burns took everyone to his private collection room. Abe had no choice but to admit that he really was Godfrey. Back in the 1950s, wrestling was wildly popular. Abe, young and strong at the time, won matches by cheating. The more the audience hated him, the more money he made. But the price was steep. Everywhere he went, he was spat on and despised. Eventually, he couldn't take it anymore, so he locked away his gear and retired. Burns, however, idolized Godfrey and begged Abe to have dinner with him to reminisce. Abe didn't want to revisit the past, but when Bart showed interest, he reluctantly agreed. At dinner, Burns urged Abe to return to the ring. Abe refused, not wanting to be the bad guy again, but Burns convinced him.
Glamorous Godfrey will wrestle again!
A senior wrestling league drew huge crowds, and when Godfrey stepped back into the ring, he was booed for his past, but cleverly used his villain act to lower his opponent's guard and defeat him in one swift move. For the first time, Bart felt genuine admiration for his grandfather. Inspired, Bart carried the act into his school baseball game, dressing flamboyantly, mocking the crowd, and using dirty tricks to win, all without shame. Homer, furious, confronted Abe, who claimed it was simply the family legacy. Then Burns had a wild idea. Let grandfather and grandson share the ring. Abe seemed to see his younger self in Bart. He hadn't even stepped into the ring yet and already had fans. But his villainy was starting to go too far, and Abe began to feel it wasn't right. Once on stage, Abe suddenly tore off his villain costume, declaring he wanted to be a good guy, that the Simpson family wouldn't play the bad guys anymore. Burns objected, saying there had to be villains to make a show. Abe pointed at him and said Burns should take that role instead.